Hey, Barakar Tawad, Shalom, Yasharala. Peace be unto the nation of Israel, the modern day so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and Speckled Israelites being the Israelite foreigners scattered across the four corners of the earth, including into America, Babylon the Great, the main place of our captivity. And we are the Most High, Yahweh's chosen people of the nation of Israel. So without further ado, as always, in the Paleo Hebrew, as in the ancient Hebrew, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom is the God of the living, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Baruch Kodash, which is our praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit, whom is our strength and our Redeemer, and our light and our salvation. In the same tongue, I'm utter Mashana, Kabawadium, Lahasaquanium, Shal, Gadawar Rakab, many double honors to the apostles and elder bishops, great millstone, and Shalom. Honor and salutations to Bayashad Awadah, the 144,000 elect governing body, the house of David, along with the rest of the one-third elect men, women, and children of Israel. And this is your fellow servant, Malak Rayab, back at it again with another prophetic update within another edition of Harmagadwan, moderately known as World War III, which is another end-time prophecy, another key end-time prophecy that are bringing the aftermath of the conclusion of the matter, which is, the salvation of Israel from this hell, all right, is getting ready to be unleashed upon this earth within this last world's war, Harmageddon, which we, clearly see the writings on the wall, and which is inevitably going to happen, by way of these war drums beating louder and louder, especially, around this whole Ukrainian proxy war, as is reported on behalf of Reuters and other media outlets, that Russia, has finally retaliated against the whore America, Babylon the Great, and NATO, okay. In the UK, including the UK, firing, tactical missiles over there in Ukraine, okay, given by the order of Sleepy Creepy Pedo Joe. All right, so I got this report by the elder Yawakanan out there in the UK, and including this article from the elder. So I'm going to use this to preface this lesson off of, and bring out some other information to filter everything to biblical prophecy. And I don't write this out as further edifying as your intellect. So on Reuters in this article is entitled, Russia fires intercontinental ballistic missile, an attack on Ukraine, Kiev says, all right. And it says, Ukraine's Air Force says Russia fired ICBM, okay, and here's the summary, all right. And it says, experts say intercontinental ballistic missile never previously used in war. Now, as the elder brought out, when Russia fired this intercontinental ballistic missile into Ukraine, it didn't have the nuclear warhead, and they ended up replacing it with another type of warhead. All right, that is not as severe in damage, because that would have been devastating. And because they've already been depleting the Ukrainian military forces for a few years now, since their initial invasion, back in February 2022. So if they would have decided to release to send an ICBM with a nuclear warhead attached, that would have been completely catastrophic. Okay, because really, one Russian ICBM, specifically, I believe it was the Sarmat 2. Codename Satan, or Satan 2 missile, can wipe out an area but the size of Texas. So the reason why they didn't attach a nuclear warhead was just to fire off a warning shot, just to remind the Edomites in America and through NATO, that they can be touched. Okay, but Esau's proud, and he's not gonna take heed to the warning, even against his own former Edomite counterpart in Russia, okay, going back to the days of World War II, when they were once allies in the part of the Allied, the Allied powers against the Axis powers. But now, as is prophesied in Obadiah, the 7th verse, that confederacy has been broken, mainly by way of the lasciviousness and the covetousness, further prophesied in Jeremiah 49 and 13, that's going to be the end of America, Babylon the Great, case in point. All right, so that's Jeremiah 51 and 13, Jeremiah 51 and 13. Okay, is that precept that I was thinking about the prophecy of the covetousness, leading into the doom of America, Babylon the Great. All right. So it says Ukraine fired Western weapons into Russia this week, and that's what led Putin to, report, release that new nuclear doctrine, that he signed. So and it says tensions rising in 33-month-old war. All right, and that's also symbolic because that is a Masonic number. Okay, it says Russia fired an intercontinental ballistic missile during an attack on a Ukrainian city of Dnipro on Thursday. Kiev's Air Force said in what would be the first use in war of a weapon designed to deliver long-distance nuclear strikes. The launch, if confirmed, highlights rapidly rising tensions in a 33-month-old war after Ukraine fired U.S. and British missiles at targets inside Russia this week, despite warnings by Moscow that it would see such action as a major escalation. So this is breaking news, all right? And even though this is exciting, there's another indication that the next major prophecy is right around the corner, and that's that MOTB implant, that grain and rice device being that chip, prophesied in Revelation, the 13th chapter, all right, verses 16 to 18, okay, specifically 16 to 17. So we know that has to happen before this last world's war completely catapults, okay, out of control, where all parties of these foreign nations are involved, and which will lead into the inevitable destruction of America. So I'm going to start off in the book of Revelation 11 and 14. And it reads, Slakia, it says the second woe is past, as in the Second World War, World War II. And it says, and behold, the third woe coming quickly. Woe meaning war, destruction. And that third woe is coming quickly. Okay? Because, Russia is a very, tactical military, very strategic, okay, very calm, so hence why they didn't tell America and NATO that they're going to attack them. They just attacked them. That's what Amalek in the Holy Land has been doing against some Ishmaelites over there in Gaza and so forth, and including over there in the capital of Lebanon being Beirut, which Hezbollah has responded to that, okay, by attacking a key energy plant over there, resulting in darkness for a time. Then they also attacked a key military base in Tel Aviv, which is why Tel Aviv, was recently on fire, reported a few days ago. Okay, because we know in Jeremiah, 49 and 20, he's prophesied that the least of the flock would draw them out, as in drawing these other nations out into this war. And the least of the flock is the least of the flock of Esau, Edom. Okay, the Amalekites over there in the small land, okay, which is the holy land that they inhabited through the Balfour Declaration. So they're the ones that are really, provoking these wars, all right, because the Zionist bankers controls these banking wars, all right, because that's exactly what they are, banking wars, where they fund both sides of the spectrum, and they benefit financially off of both sides of the spectrum in this case, all right. So not only is that this Russian ICBM missile attack on Ukraine, which is really against NATO, fighting on behalf of the interests of the bankers down there, okay, a further sign of destruction of America, Babylon the Great, but also the land of Israel, pursuing in Revelation chapter 20, verses 8 to 9, okay? So let me go to grab this next precept in the book of Joel, chapter 2, start from the top, and it says, blow you the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. All right. And who's doing that? The watchman of Yasharallah, pursuing Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. All right. Isaiah, the 62nd chapter, and so forth. All right. The prophets of Yasharallah, of Jerusalem, reincarnated, doing the same things that were done, thousands of years ago, for the prophesied in Jeremiah 28 and 8, prophesying against wicked empires, okay, evil, war, and pestilence, roughly paraphrasing. All right. Because that's what Esau, Edom represents. Okay. Carnality and witchcraft, including, biochemical and biological warfare. All right. So it says, blow you the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm on my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord Yahweh by Shemeshah cometh, for it is nigh at hand. All right. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as a morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong, there hath not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as a garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. So what land is this referring to? Okay. That will burn with this flame. All right. It's going to get that in Joel chapter 3 and 19. It says, Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. Okay, through the Roman siege of Jerusalem in 70 AD, where you forced the southern kingdom, predominantly in the scene at that time, to flee to Northwest Africa, where the trans-Saharan slave trade took place. All right, and including within America. Okay, it's prophesied how you were to remove us. Says in Micah the second chapter. Oh no, what's that? That precept where it says, it's like Joel, the third chapter, in this very chapter here, it says that you do remove us far from our borders, man. Okay, and that's exactly what you did. Okay, through the Roman siege of Jerusalem. Okay, even now, all right, within this particular era, all right, through the Spanish Inquisition, all right, through the Battle of Wounded Knee, the Seminole Wars, okay, the Punic Wars back in the day. So you have a lot of our blood on your hands, and this is a part of your recompense, okay? Destruction in America, Babylon the Great, all right? The hammer of the entire earth, all right, that you wield in your hand, as it goes into in Psalm, the 58th chapter, how you weigh the violence in your hands by way of your blessing, the sword. And this was further identified who you devils are in the scriptures, prophetically speaking, as the Edomites, okay? So back in Joel 3:19, it says, Egypt shall be a desolation, Edom shall be desolate wilderness, for the violence against the children of Judah, all right, of the southern kingdom, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. But verse 20, but Judah shall dwell forever in Jerusalem from generation to generation, all right? So both kingdoms, the southern and the northern kingdoms, will rule forever, all right? So this is further indication of time to come, all right? And that's everlasting peace. Okay, established under the second holy covenant that Yahweh shall bring down from the heavens, man. Pursuant to Revelation 21:2. Okay. All right, in which when he descends back into this realm with the Alahayim angels, he's going to engage himself in his last world's war, Harmageddon, prophesied in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, and other precepts. Okay, to destroy all of the militants of this army that remain. Okay. Which he will shortly deliver the children of Israel within the aftermath of the destruction of this place. Okay, in which is actually prophesied in Isaiah 26th chapter. All right, the elect are going to be beamed up to witness the destruction of America, Babylon the Great. All right, to be entered into the chambers of Yahweh Shemeshai, and then that's the chariot. All right. That Esau just classified deceitfully as the UAP or UFO. All right. So this is okay. So this once again, this is going to lead into the destruction of America, Babylon the Great, and the land of Israel. Okay, because it's been defiled by you devils. So Revelation 20:7, it says, "And when the 1,000 years are expired, Shaitan shall be loosed out of his prison." All right, this is that time frame. All right, where you Edomites. All right, we're released, okay, from from our subjection over you, okay, during the Dark Ages, okay, all right, around the time where, the Moors were ruling over you devils, man, and ruling over Europe, okay, going back to the 8th century, all right, to the 15th century. We were ruling for about a little over 700 years, give or take, all right, around the time of the Moors. Then the Byzantine Empire were ruling a little longer than that, which further lines up with the prophecy here in this very chapter. All right, Revelation, 20, okay, and Revelation 20:2. Okay, whether this devil was bound for 1,000 years. You see, because the Byzantine Empire, which is our people, mainly the Southern Kingdom, were ruling for around that time. All right. So then you were loosed from that subjection under us, from us, and you've been running amok ever since then, man. All right. From the time of the Renaissance period, destroying the earth. It says Revelation 11 and 18. All right. Mainly through your sword, which is your blessing. All right. Revelation 20 and 8. And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. All right. So Gog, all right, is Russia, okay, prophetically speaking. And Magog is the land of Russia. So it's prophesied that Russia will lead the charge down here within the realm of earth, okay, within the army or military of the heathen, okay, against America, Babylon the Great, and their great army, prophesied in Ezekiel 38 and 7, that they will be a guard unto, as Colonel Douglas McGregor had mentioned on that redacted program yesterday, okay? So going back to the article, bring a little bit more out, and I'm going to go ahead and bring it close to this update. So it says, jump down a bit. It says, an ICBM launch can certainly be seen as a threatening gesture, potentially in response to the lifting of restrictions on the American tactical missile systems and Storm Shadow. It's a means of deterrence, said a European military source. Russian war correspondents on Telegram, and an official speaking on condition of anonymity said Kiev fired British Storm Shadow cruise missiles into Russia's Kursk region bordering Ukraine on Wednesday. All right. It says Russia Defense Ministry in its daily reports of events over the previous 24 hours on Thursday said air defenses had shot down 2 British Storm Shadow cruise missiles, but did not say where. Britain had previously let Ukraine use Storm Shadows within Ukrainian territory. Ukraine also fired U.S. American tactical missile systems into Russia on Tuesday after U.S. Sleepy Creepy Pedo Joe gave the all clear to use such missiles. 2 months before he leaves office as Donald Duck returns to the White House, all right, Russian President Vladimir Putin on Tuesday lowered the threshold for a nuclear strike in response to a broader range of conventional attacks. All right. All right, so there we go. All right. So it says he gave the all clear to use such missiles. So this is the consequences of those actions. All right, which will eventually lead to the destruction of America, NATO, okay, and the land of Israel, which will be cleansed before the true children of Israel are restored back into that land. All right. So with that, we go ahead and go back to Revelation 20 and 9. It says, and they went up to the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about and a beloved city, and fire came down from the Most High Yahweh out of heaven and devoured them. And this was going to happen to the land of Israel as well. Verse 20, and the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. All right? Because it seems like an everlasting thing, okay, for those who get caught up in that fire, because the Heavenly Father Yahweh is going to leave the souls, of the wicked inside of those vessels, in that flesh to burn up, okay, by way of this last world's war, mainly, especially in America, all right, including those who take that chip, pursuing Revelation, the 14th chapter. So it's Jeremiah 51:11. It says, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord Yahweh by Shemeshah had raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes for his devices against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh by Shemeshah, the vengeance of his temple. All right, so the might of the king of the Medes of the Russians, okay, of the land of Magog, all right, and they're going to be, they're going to eventually, fire their ICBMs over here in America, all right, going to that prophecy of Revelation 18, how Babylon the Great, as in America, will be destroyed in 1 hour, okay. So verse 12 says, set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, okay, and that's what we are. Prepared the ambushes, for the Lord Yahweh by Shemeshah hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, as in many governments, abundant in treasures, thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. Because America is not a God-fearing country, as many ignorantly believe, but rather capitalistic corporation of commerce, okay, and tyranny and corruption, okay. A part of that covetousness is going to bring the doom about this place. That's ultimately why they've been using these proxy wars to economically, geopolitically, and militarily attack attack the opposition of the NWO. It's going to backfire. Okay, so I'm going to end it off in that note, and pray this epistle is further edifying, exhorting to elect, give all praises, glory, infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom is the God of the living, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Baruch Wadash. With that, Abba Ball, soon and very soon. Shalom, Labachayim, and on to the next one.